So here we are, guys. Had a little more time to work on the little white. I was able to get the data tag, and it is for sure still the RT-910 transmission that the door tag says. I wanted to pop the cover off of it just to see what we have to work with, because the issue is the high-low synchro is worn out. It grinds no matter what you do, going from the low side to the high side, and also when you're trying to go back down to the low side from the high side. I wanted to pop the cover, inspect all my gears, sliding clutches and everything to see if I even have something to work with, or if we need to look at getting another transmission. But so far I'm very happy to see that all the teeth on all the gears are all there, and actually all look really good wear pattern. And one of the first things I noticed was that orange paint on that input drive gear. And then if I roll this around, there we go, there's some orange paint on there. This transmission's been apart for sure. Those are timing marks when you reassemble. And the other thing too, when you get way down in there, focus, but all my sliding clutches, the angled part of the teeth where it meshes into the whichever gear you select, all look really good. Usually always this is reverse and this is first, and usually this one here takes the beating, because when trucks clutches get worn, out of adjustment, no clutch brake, any of the above, it always grinds like crazy trying to get into gear, because the clutch is not either fully releasing or the clutch brake is not slowing the input shaft down to make selecting the first gear easy. But that's in good shape as well. As we get in to the back section, let me get a screwdriver. We'll use this wrench as a pointer, but this here is the synchro between high and low. Low gear was a synchro to the back. High gear meshes this output shaft right directly with this auxiliary drive gear, making it a one-to-one in the back section. And these teeth here do have some wear on them, but that's a replaceable part when you do the synchro. So I was expecting to see that, just because of how badly the transmission would grind. You know, so that's not the end of the world. And so the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back section off, because you need to remove that to get to the synchro. I'm going to get a kit, get all the gaskets, O-rings for the high-low slave cylinder. And the other thing I'm going to do to this transmission, this truck has been re-geared in the rear end, and it's really too slow. It does 54 miles an hour right on the governor, and it's got a 2-speed rear end actually. In the low I know the high gear is 489. I'm not exactly sure. I got to look on the specs on the rear end what the low gear is, but it's plenty low enough for what I want to do. Is I'm going to change this to a RT-910. So I'm going to change it to an Overdrive, and it's actually easy, just time consuming. All you need to do is you need to swap your input drive gear with your 4th gear set, both companion gears on the counter shaft. So the complete inside needs to be taken apart, removed. You need to press all these gears off of the counter shafts and swap this gear with this gear with this one, and this one with this one. And what it does is it speeds up, because this gear is bigger than this one on the input. It speeds up the whole transmission throughout all the gears. Each gear maintains its same progression step from the original RT configuration, but it will give me an overdrive, and it will also change my shift pattern, which is not a big deal, but basically for just time, I'm going to be able to turn this into an overdrive. I'm going to get a little bit better road speed and a little bit more driving enjoyment. So that's the plans for this transmission. I'll bring you guys back when I pull the back section off and show you what it looks like in there. And then also, hopefully it's a good little sign. I'm in here poking around looking at things. I don't know if it'll focus, but if I can get this light in there just right, maybe. Down there, yeah, it doesn't want to focus, but down there, that copper circle, oop, is a penny. Someone has dropped a penny in there, and I guess you're gonna have to take my word for it, but it is heads up. So hopefully this is a lucky penny and a lucky sign that good things have come from this truck and this rebuild progress and process. So stay tuned. I'll bring it back when I get the back section torn apart. Alright, I'll bring you guys in. I got the back section off. Got quite the shrapnel pile down here. I already know what it is, but I knew what it was when I took it apart. Those are bearing cages. Luckily all the bearings in this side look good. But I'll bring you over to the bench. Those do not look good. It's funny, the complete cage on each side was in the covers when I took them off. So I'm going to take this apart more, see what the synchro looks like and everything else, and then bring you guys back for some more. Alright, so we're back. I got the back section disassembled as much as I'm going to for now. Like I said earlier, both the countershaft, auxiliary countershaft rear bearings are junk. I mean, the bearings are fine, just the cage broke. I'm not 100% sure on what causes that failure. I think vibrations are probably the #1 killer for that. I'm going to assume this truck had plenty of driveline vibrations. The synchro was very worn and had violent shifts, and I'm sure that didn't do it any justice. We got the synchro out, and I mean, I'm surprised to see that this still has its friction material. Well, it's not a friction material like on the newer ones, but it still has the grooves to grab that gear, because this is the high side. This grabs the auxiliary section drive gear. So this would be going into high, but this is quite worn out. When you take this apart, you got little springs in each one of those sections, and this should take 2 hands to push this down and lock it in, and this does not. You can see this hole is quite egged out. I've also got this one here. This drive pin is just junked out in the low range section. I'm trying to do it one-handed. So yeah, I mean, it's just a combination of age, where you can tell it's been in there. That's the marks from the springs. They've, oh, even that one spins too. You know, they've seen their fair share of time and abuse. So I'm not mad at it. It just is what it is. It's worn out. It needs to be replaced. So that's that. The rear gear, everything looks to be good. The countershaft gears are all there and clean. The only thing I was looking at the back at the main section here a little bit more. I'm not too happy about. I think this cage is on its. I think this bearing is on its way out. I know it's straight. They're straight roller bearings, but I've never seen anything to have play like that. Now the lower countershaft bearing is exactly the same, but that doesn't look too good for me. That's all got to come out anyway when I do the gear swap, so be inspected better. I may mangle the gear. They may mangle the bearings taking them out anyway. I don't really have the proper puller for it, but we'll see. But everything in the main section still looks good. There's that lucky penny. So that's it for today. And then when I get more done, I'll bring you guys back and follow along. Tight quarters, but it's warm, and I got a nice floor, and I'm happy about that. So, thanks for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see, or have any questions, let me know, and I'll answer them best I can.